Nestled in the rugged Peruvian Andes, some of the highest habitable areas on Earth, are communities that have made this extreme environment home for thousands of years. Here, where oxygen levels are nearly half of what they are at sea level, people live at altitudes ranging from 3,000 to over 5,000 meters, about 10,000 to 16,500 feet. Their story is one of incredible adaptation, physiological, agricultural, and cultural, as they have carved a life out of a landscape dominated by rocky peaks, freezing temperatures, and relentless sun exposure. This journey into the Andean highlands reveals not just survival, but a thriving way of life intricately adapted to these challenging conditions. The human body faces severe challenges in high-altitude environments. In the Peruvian Andes, the air is thin, with roughly 40% less oxygen than at sea level, forcing the human body to adapt in fascinating ways to survive. The Andean people, over many generations, have developed unique respiratory and circulatory characteristics. For instance, their bodies are marked by larger lung capacities and a high concentration of hemoglobin, the protein responsible for carrying oxygen in the blood. These adaptations allow the Andean people to take in and utilize the limited oxygen available. This population also shows broader chests relative to height, an adaptation that increases lung surface area, enhancing oxygen absorption. Their hearts are typically larger and more efficient at pumping oxygen-rich blood to critical organs. Children in these communities adapt from a young age, showing a remarkable resilience that surpasses that of newcomers, who often suffer from altitude sickness. Researchers studying these people's genetic makeup have discovered alleles that help them process and distribute oxygen more efficiently, suggesting that natural selection has played a significant role in shaping these adaptations over thousands of years. Agriculture in the Andean highlands represents one of the world's most remarkable feats of adaptation, as the harsh conditions pose multiple obstacles. Cold temperatures, intense sunlight, and thin, rocky soils would seem to limit cultivation. Yet Andean farmers have turned the mountain slopes into productive agricultural landscapes. The practice of terracing is an ancient Incan innovation still in use today. These terraces, carved into the mountainside, create flat spaces for planting, conserve water, and prevent soil erosion. They also moderate temperature, creating warmer microclimates that protect crops against frost. Potatoes, a staple crop for the Andean people, were first cultivated in these high-altitude regions, and over 3,000 unique varieties have been developed that can resist extreme conditions like frost and drought. Quinoa and maize, two other essential crops, also thrive here. Andean farmers employ traditional organic farming techniques and crop rotation, ensuring sustainable practices that have supported their communities for centuries. In periods of severe cold, these farmers turn to a unique preservation method called chuño, which involves leaving potatoes out overnight to freeze naturally and drying them in the sun during the day. This method creates a long-lasting, lightweight, and nutrient-rich food supply essential for survival during harsh winters or poor harvests. Beyond agriculture, animal husbandry is another vital aspect of life for Andean highlanders. They raise alpacas and llamas, animals that are well-suited to high-altitude conditions. These animals provide wool, which is essential for making warm clothing, and they are also a source of protein and transportation in the region. The fleece of alpacas is particularly prized for its warmth, softness, and durability, and it has become a crucial export, bringing income to remote communities. The people also herd vicuñas, smaller, wild relatives of the llama, which are only shorn every few years due to their fragile nature. Vicuña wool, among the most expensive fibers globally, is reserved for special occasions or sold as a valuable trade item. Additionally, Andean people have developed a close relationship with guinea pigs, or kai, which are raised as a traditional food source, providing protein in a landscape where other forms of livestock are difficult to sustain. Life in the high Andes is rich with cultural practices that foster a deep connection between the people and their environment. Many Andean communities are of Quechua or Aymara descent, preserving languages, beliefs, and traditions that trace back to the Inca civilization. Central to their spiritual life is Pachamama, or Mother Earth, who is seen as a living, nurturing force deserving of respect and offerings. Every year, elaborate festivals and rituals honor Pachamama, asking for her blessings on crops, animals, and health. Andean festivals are an explosion of color, music, and dance, deeply embedded with symbolism. Traditional clothing, such as brightly woven ponchos, layered skirts, and distinctively shaped hats, plays a prominent role, not only reflecting Andean identity, but providing warmth and protection from the high-altitude climate. Intricate weaving techniques, passed down for generations, create patterns that tell stories of ancestry, local legends, and their connection to nature. Music, often played with the Andean pan flute, drums, and charango, a small stringed instrument, reflects the Andean people's joys, struggles, and their symbiotic relationship with the land. Andean highland communities are often small, close-knit, and highly self-reliant. The challenging environment demands a spirit of cooperation, with neighbors working together to plant, harvest, and manage livestock. Many community decisions are made collectively, and festivals are organized to bring everyone together, celebrating shared identity and resilience. In a place where individual survival is difficult, these networks of support and reciprocity are invaluable. Villages may be far from urban centers, and roads are often winding and treacherous, but the community bond remains a pillar of life in the highlands. Though Andean highlanders have survived here for millennia, modern pressures pose new challenges. Climate change is affecting the region dramatically, particularly through glacial melting. Many of the glaciers, long relied upon for a steady water supply, are shrinking, affecting both drinking water and irrigation for crops. This poses a serious threat to agriculture and daily life, as traditional water sources become less reliable. The thinning of the glaciers has led to seasonal unpredictability, putting crops at risk and disrupting long-standing farming cycles. Meanwhile, globalization and urbanization are also changing Andean life. Young people increasingly move to urban areas in search of education and economic opportunities, leading to a gradual erosion of traditional skills and practices. Some communities, however, are finding ways to preserve their heritage through sustainable tourism initiatives. Travelers who seek an authentic cultural experience in the Andes are invited to learn about traditional weaving, farming, and spiritual practices, generating income that supports local communities. The Andean highlanders are a powerful example of how human ingenuity and community spirit can conquer even the most extreme environments. Their lives are a mosaic of adaptation, tradition, and resilience, rooted in a respect for Pachamama and a commitment to preserving the land for future generations. Even as they face new challenges from climate change and the pull of modernity, Andean people continue to demonstrate the power of living in harmony with their environment. The lessons learned from their adaptations, whether through farming, community structure, or cultural values, offer insights into the resilience of human societies facing natural adversity.